Ah, peace. Give thanks for life. Someone keeps texting me. I hope it doesn't mess with the sound quality on the video. I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know. My voice is kind of low this morning. I don't have much projection, but maybe it'll elevate as the video continues. I guess I'm speaking from a place of trouble. Um, I wanted to reason on perceptions, I guess. Perceptions and intentions. Perceptions and intentions is a mug. Perceptions and intentions. Sometimes it don't matter how hard you try. Sometimes it don't matter how. Sometimes it don't matter what your intentions are. A person's perception will just never be in alignment with your word sound. Like no amount of words could make a difference. You know, if the energy ain't working, like it's like no amount of words will make a difference. And if the energy is working, ain't no words really even needed. That's the mystic power of that vibe, right? But it's like if people, it like it don't matter how much you try to explain to a person something, if they don't overs, they're not gonna overs with more talking. You know, it's very rare you're gonna have this aha moment that we all keep looking for in somebody else with our many words. We're looking for these aha moments from these people. We just want to enlighten them with our perceptions. But they have their own perceptions, and perceptions is based on experience, you know? So you can't expect somebody to have your perception or even see your perception if they didn't have your experience. This is why culture matters. This is why humans don't get along right now. Because everybody's taught they can do everything they want to do. Now you got to stay in your tribe. This is why humanity had tribes for so long. And with the tribes, you had less problems. You had less problems. Of course, you had tribalism, but there was less problems with tribalism than with individuality. Tribalism caused less problems in the world than individuality, the way we see it now. You know what I mean? With everybody having their own thing, you know. When the tribe existed, the experience was similar for everybody, so that camaraderie was fuller because people understood your perception because they shared your perception. But when you out here, everybody just willy-nilly gone to the wind doing their own thing, everybody's developing these individualistic perceptions, which causes more strife. If you're left to your own perception, then that's going to cause more strife between people. And that's what the bigger heads like. You see, when they pushing this, do you individuality, you're your own person, you're your own boss, and whatever ideologies of individualism you fell for, like whatever ideology of individualism you fell for it. You know, people are toxic. Oh, you know, like whatever fear tactic that worked on you to isolate you, whether you want to be an individual or just circumstances through fear got you isolated, it worked because now you develop your own perception. And if everybody has their own perception, unity is pretty much impossible. You know, unity comes from what a unified experience. You know, a unified struggle. So even though our struggle might be unified, our perception of it is different because we're not going through it together, though we are. That's the trick bag. You know, um, and that transcends through every aspect of life, whether it be political or whether it be personal relationships. It's hard. Everybody nowadays it's hard to keep their personal relationships intact because everybody has their own perception because they're individualized experiences, not having communal tribal experiences to bring forth a relation and a companionship and a camaraderie. You know, and that causes factions. It causes factions, and everybody fractions off. You know, and everybody is arguing with whether it's a 6 or a 9. And people walk around hurt and feeling victimized and misunderstood, which increases sadness and depression and fear, So this is why culture matters. This is why it's important to have a community of culture that's tribal with because that brings forth the solidarity that's needed. You know what I mean? This is why other ethnicities who keep their culture closer intact, you know, are stronger. You know, like the Indians and the Jews and all of them. They like the Jews live together, the Indians live together. They keep their culture intact, and that way it keeps their bond intact. Your culture is what bonds you. You know what I mean? There's like you don't have a culture if you're not together. You know what I mean? So if you have this ideology of a culture, but you're by yourself doing it, you're gonna develop your own individualized perception of it, and so will they. So even though y'all all say y'all the same culture, if y'all not together formulating your thought pattern, you're going to have these individual thoughts. And when you get together, all you're going to do is argue within the same culture, i.e., today's, a lot of these black faiths and theologies and movements are factored and divided and fussing because they've been developing their perceptions on an individual level rather than a group communal level. And now they want to get together and do stuff, but they all arguing because they all have these individualized perceptions that they want to push on the other. When everybody wants the other to see it their way, when it's already been hardened into that perception. Because when y'all was soft, y'all wasn't together, y'all wasn't building. So it's hard to come together when everybody has lived different experiences. Their perceptions are not going to be the same, and you're not going to see that person's perception because you wasn't in a tribal, cultural, intact community together to have similar experiences to bond you. It does matter. It's not the have all be all, but it does matter. It helps tremendously. You know, I just thought I wanted to build on that. What did I say in the beginning? What did I call it? Um, Perceptions and intentions. Yeah. So sometimes you can have the most amazing intentions with people, but if they don't have the same perception as you, they might feel attacked. They might think everything you're doing is negative when your intentions was nothing but positive, but it's based on perceptions, and it hurts. But that's the problem when everybody's fractioned in factions. Yeah, just wanted to reason on that. It's like, um, yeah, um, hmm, yeah, that was the heights of the heights. Yeah, give thanks. That's it. Let me know what y'all think. All right.